What's up, hackers? Welcome to Chill Code. My name is Taggart, and tonight we are going to be testing a new-ish web proxy called Kaido. If you're not familiar with Kaido, it is in beta right now, and after begging and pleading with the developers, I eventually got an invite into the second or third round of beta testers. And so, I mean, basically, it's checking every box that would pique my interest, right? It is a web application security toolkit. It is written in Rust. And it has dark mode by default. So what else can you possibly want? Now, I wanted to save this to do with all of you. So I have... Are you absolutely sure you didn't make this? I am so sure. I had to wait so long to get an invite to this, Husky. Although it is entirely possible that there is, you know, a dark Taggart, an evil Taggart that is out there. That's not true. If there were an evil Taggart, this absolutely would be written in C++. Yeah, I'm really excited. I haven't done anything but install it, right, to make sure that that actually worked so that we could do this tonight. And I have a couple of Try Hack Me rooms kind of lined up that we can test this against. I'm going in totally blind. I have no idea what to expect. It might be amazing. It might be totally feature lacking. I know that there's some stuff that you would expect in one of these that is, like, coming soon. So if you look at sort of the features here, it says automate, so some of the, like, automated fuzzers that we would expect in Zap or Burp. Plugins, also not a thing yet. And scan, so this is going to be like passive scanning, right, where all of the alerts, things like content security policy alerts or anything else like that, those aren't going to be there just yet. But the basics of web proxying and, you know, replays, sitemaps, all of that is happening. And so we'll take a look at this. Hey, Astral, will this be open source like Zap? No, it is not. I do not think going to be open source. This is definitely, I think this is not aimed at Zap users. I think this is aimed at Burp customers, right? So they're after your Burp dollar. And that's fine, but right now it's in free beta. I mean, it's invite only, but once you're in, you can get it for free. Now, one of the cool things about Kaido, just to get started here, yeah, there we go. I was like, there's no sensitive information in this, right? One of the cool things about Kaido is it is insta cross-platform. So there is a Linux desktop, which is a Debian package. There is macOS, Apple Silicon. There's macOS x86, and there's Windows. Then there's Linux ARM. Linux, and the Linux I'll talk about in a second. And then, of course, there's the Windows here. What are the differences between these, like Windows Desktop versus Windows? Well, the command line option runs as a service, and then you get a web interface in the browser because it's running on the command line. So it's almost like a mix between MITM proxy, right, which is full command line, and something like Burp or Zap that do have, yes, they have GUIs, but they also have like HTTP APIs that you can access and manipulate things that way. So it's this sort of weird in between. But I've installed the full desktop version for a couple of reasons. One, I want to see what a Rust GUI, how well that works. And I'll tell you that even starting it up, it was a little rocky. It would absolutely suck if you gave us a couple of those download links. Well, a couple things. I am not going to break any of my agreements to be in the beta, but also I don't have any for you. It was literally like invite only by email. They're not codes that I can give out, unfortunately. It's pretty locked down, for right now. And yeah, I'm not gonna give out the download links. But, right, so I have this thing set up, and we're going to go through kind of like the GUI tour. But I will say that even starting it up was a little rocky, in that when you start it up, it first was like, it said, oh, I couldn't establish a connection on 8080. And then I had to press start several times before it decided, oh, okay, I've established a socket on 8080 and I'll let you proceed. So that's different. And then once you set it up, it's you know what it's like? It's almost like Postman. Once you install it, it then forces you to log in to the web interface, like in your dashboard, right? I'm at dashboard.kaido.io. It forces you to log in here to authenticate to get an instance token to use Kaido on that system, and you have to name the instance. And furthering the Postman analog, you'll see your work is split into these projects, which I believe are cloud synced, right? The idea is that you would have these accessible to you no matter where you are, which is a cool idea. I like Postman too, but the more cloudy one of these tools is, the less comfortable I get with them. But we'll see how it goes. All right, so it started up. It's running on port 8080. What does all this look like? So first of all, we see creating a project. In order to start using Kaido, let's create a project. I shall. So the first room we're going to do, by the way, is this neighbor room. This should take minutes. I think it's just a simple IDOR. Look at the pointing on this. I don't really know how tricky this is. So we'll call this neighbor. So we'll make a new project. Project names can be anything from pen test clients and bug bounty programs to product names and CTF challenges. So yeah, we get it. We get what projects are. Neighbor, spelled British. And this creates a project path. You just created your first project. Thank you. When you wish to switch project, click on an entry from the projects table and press the select button. That's weird, right? That's a weird way to do it. Your currently selected project will show up here. Why wouldn't I click here to change the project, as opposed to the single entry? All right, already we're seeing some weird UI things. And then this part is important. Head over to the CA certificate settings to finalize your setup. So they have a CA cert that you're going to have to install in the browser, just like Burp or Zap. I am curious about that project thing, though. So if I click on this... Oh, can I just, like, select different projects? This is the list of every project that I have. I get it. I get it. So if I were to create another project, it would be down here, and I just click through those. I guess that makes sense. It could have been explained better. All right, get the CA cert. They have this nice little CA cert installation screen that explains how you do it for every platform and for both Chromium and Firefox browsers. So I'm going to download the CA cert. I'll put that in my home folder, actually. And I'll call it kaido.cert. And then in my pentest profile, we'll head over to, we'll look for cert. Yeah, it's in security, manage certs. Go to authorities, make sure you're selecting authorities and import. And then this is cool. It's in CRT format rather than PEM, which means that the default file selector knows what it is. I'm used to selecting that and changing it to everything. Okay, so the CA cert is installed. In theory, I should be able to get to everything I need to get to. Okay, so Neighbor is up and running. Now, this is, we'll do the usual try hack me thing. So we'll start with a Rust scan. Right? Just to make sure that it's only port 80 or whatever. Okay, 22 and 80. The huge. All right, so then over here, we'll go to HTTP that. Fascinating. So I have this enabled, right? And it says not secure. I believe that's because it is HTTP. Now, is it capturing it? It is. Hey, Time Traveler. Good to see you. All right, so this is what we have here. Can I make this font bigger? Almost certainly not. These are just settings. Active rules. Okay, so we have some, this is tamper, automate, replay, intercept, forward. Okay. Now, if I turn off Bootstrap, this hides this, I guess. And I haven't navigated to anything. It's just saying, login, use the guest account, control U. Okay, fine. But even this, it should be capturing the source for me. That's so weird. Okay, so this eyeball is actually meant to be an expand the tree. That's not great. Because when you see an eye, wouldn't you expect that to be a show hide? I thought for all the world that was going to mean, oh, exclude this from the proxy or hide it, right? So that we don't see further requests from here. By the way, I am not loving the fact that I don't have history, right? I don't have the list of requests that have been made. That's bumming me out already. I mean, look, I'm going to try my very best to give this thing a fair shake and not, you know, not be like, well, it's not Zap. Meh. I don't want to do that. But I have some muscle memory now that I'm going to be working against with this tool. And one of them is that I'm used to seeing the HTTP requests as they come in. And especially for stuff like APIs, as you're scanning them, that really matters. Okay, so we have, you know, the requests here. We got favicon.ico, and we do have the request and response. This is nice. If I right-click on this, does anything happen? No. If I right-click on this, does anything happen? Also no. But I do have the get here. This is interesting. So if I right-click on this, this must be the history. Despite the fact that there's no favicon. No, it's not. That's so weird. Here we go. So if I click on like the top level, this gives me the entire history of that scope. I see. So there's the request for the favicon. And then here, if I send this to replay, a little thing pops up in the replay section. And then, I don't know why it's called default. It's the default session. And then there's this one, whatever one is. And it doesn't have anything? Why did that not work? Let me try that again. Okay, so if I right-click on the request, which I can do now, and send to replay, now there's a thing. Okay, and if I hit send, I'll get a response. I'll get a response. Okay, so... meh. I do like the syntax highlighting for the HTTP headers. That is uber handy. Here we go. Guest credentials until registration is fixed. Admin user account is off limits. Is it now? Well, we'll try it anyway. Okay. Well, we'll try guest and see what happens. I see. Boy, this is IDOR like 001. So now that we have this, what can we do with it in Kaido, right? That's what we really want to think about. And what have we seen here? So we have index.php profile. Here we go. And we have a query of user equals guest. And if we send to automate, what can we do with that? So we say user equals guest. Awesome. If we mark that, and then payload is 1, but we don't have... Okay, so that's like mark 1. Type is simple list. Is the only type that we can possibly have. attack strategy. There's sequential, parallel, and matrix. All right, well, sequential's the only one that makes sense for a single parameter. We have a couple of settings. There's some concurrency. That's interesting. If you want to kick it up a notch, I do like that it's going to default to a single worker, and then you can kick up the number of threads if you want to. And I also appreciate that they call it concurrency. That's one of those a programmer wrote this UI, or like a systems programmer wrote this UI situations. Okay, if we hit load, I mean, we can make whatever list we want. Let's go ahead and make one. The Sitten, hey! Good to see you. Thank you so much, first of all, for this amazing project, and thank you for the invite to the beta. I'm really excited to test it out. Let's make a user list, right? Admin, administrator, Bob, Alice. All right, let's load it up. Documents. Try hack me. Neighbor. Users.txt. Okay. Go. All right, so we do get the length here of the response. So we have admin, which is longer, Bob, Alice, but the difference appears to be directly, well, almost directly proportional to this to the length of the username. But let's see what we get. So let's see what we get for a false positive, right? We get Bob, and we get the response that says, "Hi, Bob. Welcome to our site. Try not to peep our neighbor's profile." Well, obviously, the first thing I need to find out is whether... I'm just going to cut right to the chase here. Ah, dang it. No, why didn't that work? Ah. It's HTML, it's HTML encoded. Nerds. Well, we're going to mess with it a little bit. Anyway. Nah. I mean, that's not the point of this exercise, but I have essentially become... Oh, God. Focus. I've essentially become an XSS hunter. Or like a... Is it like the equivalent of a truffle pig, but for cross-site scripting? Let's fix the focus on that video, huh? Good job, autofocus. There we go. Even if that is indicative of my current mental state, that's not really what we want to see. Okay. Now, we want to see if the... We want to check Kaido for what admin gave us, right? Ah. Well, that was quick. I mean, okay, but also why make the room? That, yeah. Whatever. That's that one sorted. And now we get to see what it's like to move from project to project, right? So we'll close this payload automator up, and we'll close whatever this was out. And then we'll go to projects. And if I go to new project, oh, there is a delete. Okay. If I go to new project, the other one we were going to look at was called Surfer. Okay, so we'll join this room and start that up. This one seems a little bit more involved. It's a difficulty medium. So start this up. Check out this radical app. Isn't it gnarly, dude? It seems goofy to bump on the fact that gnarly is misspelled, but it is. Yeah, exactly. Because here's the thing, gnarl is a word. It's a rough, knotty protuberance, especially on a tree. And they sell it. Um, in Northern California, if you go through the redwoods, there are places that will sell you art made of gnarl. I should mention the closest to surfing that I ever come, even though I live in Los Angeles, is walking past the surfers in Manhattan Beach while I'm walking on the Strand. And I have seen Point Break. That's about it. All right, this machine is up. So we'll set up a new project. Whoa, 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 whoa. Breaking news. The Sitten says, if anyone on the stream wants to try out the tool, just DM me. Huge thank you. That's incredible. And what a big, what a generous offer. Yeah. Definitely take them up on that. Because here's the thing. Look, is it feature complete? No, but it's also early days, and that's really cool. I'm really, like, I'm enjoying working with this tool. There are some bumpy points, but broadly, like, I can see the things that are going well, and I'm excited about it. And, by the way, just from a pure responsive application standpoint, I can feel less stress because I know that I'm not working with a Java application, and I am elated. And the fact also, the fact that there's the command line version, right, that has the web interface that is basically the same. Oh, the Sitten, I wanted to ask you, what is this built with? Is it Tauri that you're building the desktop UI with? If so, even extra bonus love, because that is super cool. Oh, it is? Oh, man, super cool. Okay, we got to talk about Tauri for a second then. Yeah, so first of all, I love the fact that it's called Tauri because it's a Stargate reference. But also, Tauri is to Rust what Electron is to JavaScript. Okay, so what Tauri allows you to do is create web UI, or I should say, like, yeah, no, it's close enough. Tauri allows you to build web app UI applications with Rust as the backend, just like Node is the backend for Electron apps. Yeah, it's definitely still early days. A lot of this stuff is still early days, but I was always excited about Tauri, in part because I felt like it picked up the slack where Gecko left off, right? I mean, I actually think Tauri has Gecko in it. And if you're not familiar with what Gecko is, Gecko was meant to be the replacement for Firefox's rendering engine written in Rust. And that was like what began opening the door to writing Electron replacements that didn't rely on Node, and also crucially didn't rely on the the Chrome V8 engine. It uses the native web view of the platform, so it can use Gecko. I see. That makes sense. But yeah, at any rate, Tauri is something it's on my list of things to play with, but that's very cool. But as I said, the other thing that I like about Kaido is that it has that option, right? You can use the web UI Electron-y thing, the Tauri thing, or you can use the command line version with the web interface. That, to me, is a huge win, because think about how you might spin up some infrastructure, right? Think about spinning up Kali in the cloud, right, to go after a target. And you want to set up your web proxy on it. Okay. But if you were going to do that with Zap, you would have to also set up a window manager, right? And a desktop environment so that it could render. Because Zap, you can interface with it through its API once it's running, but it still has to be running in a window in order for that to happen. I believe the same is true with Burp. There's no like headless version of Burp, right? And so this offers a new opportunity that is closer to what you might do with like MITM proxy, but with a much different backend. Can we get a command line run through as well really quick? You bet. We will do that. You know what? Now is a good time to do that, Astral. So let me shut down Kaido and bring it back up in the command line. Good call on that. All right, so downloads. Sudo cp Kaido. I'll just put it in user local bin. And again, this is just, it was a single binary download. All right, so let's fire up Kaido and see what happens. Little ASCII art, always appreciated. It should use... Okay, so it says you must be logged into the Kaido instance. So we're going to log in. This part did give me some issues, but then I found out the issues were... Yeah, here we go. Everything's good. This originally gave me issues, but it was Brave giving me issues. The Brave shields hate whatever's going on for this authorization flow. So if you have problems with that and you're a Brave user like me, just make sure shields are down for this, and it should be okay. Now, okay, so take a look at this. This is the web interface. Look at this, localhost 8080. I have the exact same interface that I had in the window, but now it's in a browser. And I have the command line giving me debug information. But it's the exact same thing. And now I'm at the, I'm at the mercy of the speed of my browser. Exactly, Goomba. That's what I was like. At first, I had to... It's not Grafana. This is Kaido, Cheeto. At first, I didn't know what to do with this. Yeah, command line just opened a web session. It serves out on port 8080 so that you can access it, which I think is really cool, right? So again, you set up your cloud infrastructure, and then you set up a firewall rule to allow access from your IP to port 8080 on the machine. Yeah, it's super cool. This is gonna... So this is how it looks. It looks identical. I think it's using the same assets. I can't do this because it will mess with my muscle memory too much to jump between two different browser windows rather than a browser and the proxy window. You know what I mean? So I'm going to shut this down, but this is how it works if you use the command line option. All right, let me bring back the desktop again. What? Oh no! Okay, so I think I made a big mistake. I think I overwrote Kaido by doing that. So the Debian package must also install to user local bin Kaido because running Kaido from there to fire up the same thing. Sudo rm user local bin Kaido. Whoops. Okay, that's fine though. Sudo dpackage, so I'll reinstall it. Dpackage I Kaido. The deb, please. Yes. And then it should open the desktop version again. That's very funny. possibly something to think about. Maybe naming the desktop Kaido-desktop and the command line one keep it Kaido or something like that. Because I could see people wanting to have both on. I would want to have both on sometimes. I'll give you a perfect example. If I need to route something from my VM or from my host into my VM, and I don't want to deal with the rest of my UI, I might want to use the command line version of it, right? But if I'm fully in the Kali VM, then I'll use the desktop version. It's just a thought. Okay, so you'll see what's going on here. That started right up. That's great. The first time I tried that, there was like I had to basically prime it. I had to press start a couple of times before it was like, oh yeah, I have a socket on 8080. Okay, so I hit select and now we're on Surfer. So now let's go over to Surfer here and got here. So this is about server-side request forgery. That'll be interesting. They said this application has some functionality that's only available for internal usage, but if you catch the right wave, you can probably find the sweet stuff. Ugh. Heaven help us from room creators who think they're clever. And we'll do the same thing, sudo rust scan, just to be thorough in case they're going to mess with us some type of way. Nope, 22 and 80. Nothing but. You see the whole scenario and operations order for the room? Yeah. What kind of maniac would do that for their room? All right. So what are we working with here? Wappleizer tells us that we've got Apache, PHP 7, some front end, but not enough front end that it's going to be a front end framework taking over for us, meaning this stuff should be getting served right to Kaido, which we can find out. Yeah, we're going to hide Brave. So this is a thing, right? I need a way to exclude. I need a way to exclude stuff. Now, there is a scope over here. There's a scope window. Scope presets allow you to create scope rules, but I guess the question is like, how do I add something to scope? Is that what this is? No. Yeah, this button is unclear. It seems like it should be something that I show or hide, but I mean, all I can do is create a new preset. Yeah, so I can do that. Okay. So in theory, that's in scope. I don't know what that does for us. Does it change? Scopes are not integrated with the sitemap yet. Okay, so like, it's there, but it's not really gonna apply. Okay, that's fine. So we're expanding this out. And I just want to make sure that login.php shows me everything. It does. This is a straight up PHP app. You can use it in history and intercept. Okay. I see. Oh, lovely. Okay, so there's a scope up here, and I go to Surfer. Ah, that's very nice. Okay. Thank you. This is very burp-like. And we have some filters. Ooh. Look at that popover. Nicely done. I have a feeling that I'm not seeing the right font here. Because this seems just the text seems a little offset and the kerning is funky, which usually tells me that the intended font is missing. CSS is super hard. Yeah, it is. I might poke at that a little bit in the web version, just to see what's going on. And if I find out, I'll let you know. Okay, so this is cool. We've got methods, get, post, put, delete. There are other HTTP verbs, but that's good for now. Port. We have custom. Was there a custom method? Oh, there is. That's neat. Ah, join. I have joined the Discord. Definitely join that Discord if you're interested in this project. That's where the new versions are released. Thank you so much for hanging out, and thank you so much for the invite for all of us to get into the beta with the DM. That was very generous of you. Thank you, The Sittin'. Okay, so this intercept, which is it's a burp thing, which I always forget because Zap doesn't really have this idea. I mean, it does, but it's thought of as breakpoints, right? Where here, this is like the whole history of everything that's going on, whereas this is the site map. So really, I think living here is closer to what I would want if I were trying to replicate the Zap experience, right? Because this is everything that's happening in order, so it's descending. Yeah, there we go. This is really where I want to be. All right, so we've got assets. So something that we don't have is a spider, but we can use another Rust tool, Ferox Buster, to take up the slack there, because we can use the burp replay feature in Ferox Buster to send anything that it finds directly into this proxy as well. Let's give that a shot, actually. So we're going to do Ferox Buster, burp replay. The output is going to be, we'll call it ferox.txt. We'll do medium. We don't need to do the big. And status 300, 301, 302. Yes, love it. Although we should probably change the URL. Nice. All right. So we found login.php, and you can see that these are coming in, right? And they're coming in. If we look at the user agent, it's Ferox Buster, right? Ooh, backup. That's spicy. /backup. What you got for me? Well, we'll see about that. Maybe it's gonna be like Overgrown Carrots Room that GoPro did on Saturday. That was rough. I don't know how many of you were there for that. Yeesh. Through no fault of GoPros. That room was just kind of like you had to find the exact right thing to enumerate. In engagement, I got a WSDL backup. Through more testing, I got auth bypass to request by AI. Second week of the new job. Well, earning your keep. Good job. /internal. Aha. Still forbidden. I should probably try logging in. But I'm delighted that this does work the way that we would expect, right? And it is .php, so what I might want to do, I'll target a couple of these, like backup and internal, and add the -x PHP, just to go after those specifically. And if you're curious why I'm not seeing all the Nito, Burrito, Ferox Buster emoji, it's because I have -q enabled for quiet mode. As much as I love all that stuff, I do find that it tends to mess with my zoomed in terminal. And so I really just need to see the stuff that it hits. I don't need to see anything else. Okay. Well, while that's going, let's try admin. Wait, what? Was that intentional, or was that just terrible security, or was that just anything would have worked? Incredible. All right, hold on a second. Admin, like test 1, 2, 3. Nope. It was, in fact, admin. Ah. Old tricks are the best tricks. Fantastic. Okay, well... Oh, it's made with Composer. Okay. Interesting. There's just one flag for this, right? Yeah. Profile. I am the admin. I fight for the user. I monitor the server for downtime and generate reports in PDF with the coolest tool I wrote. Comma splice. Aside that, I love sea and surfing is my favorite sport. Antarctica? That's not a place. Antarctica is. System administrator. I don't want to be too nitpicky, but if you're going to release a room, could you at least run spell check on your content? SSRF, yeah. All right. I was really hoping I could, you know, change the name and try to do some cross-site. That's my hobby. Is ooh. Okay, here we go. Export to PDF, huh? Okay. Now that we have a session, what happens if we go to backup? Still no. What about internal? Also still no. Oh, it's okay. So we have a CGI, which might be interesting. Did this finish? It did not. So I'm going to kill that and do a... Oh! Ladies and gentlemen. The Pirate Moo is here. Thank you so much for the follow, and thank you for hanging out. The hacker legend. So we're gonna not recurse. That's what the dash n is gonna do, and we're gonna go after slash internal, and I'm also gonna add the dash x php to see if there are any like PHP files in there, and we'll do that with Whoa, that didn't take long, did it? So internal slash admin.php, right? And we get a 200 with that. Come on. This page can only be accessed locally. Okay, so this, I think, is our SSRF, right? We need to get to this via server-side request forgery. Now, we know that the server IP internally is 172.17.0.2. That was really cool of them to give us. And so the only functionality that I see here is export to PDF. I do want to address what Leon said. So he said, I will test the simple stuff, SSH rooted IP with admin as password. Reasons I'm not doing that: one, I'm a web app pen tester, and so I'm not supposed to hit the system first like that, although not a bad idea if we're doing a comprehensive pen test. Right, but if we're focusing on the web application as is, that is kind of what our scope is meant to be. So we're going to focus on the application's functionality first. What does this do? So I've got the DevTools up here. Interesting. Export to pdf.php. It just creates this PDF. But I wanted to inspect it, not click on it. Did I just do the same thing twice? Yeah. Okay. Ooh, server-info.php. I mean, presumably that's what this is coming from. 10.10.61.249. Okay. B Croc, thank you so much for the follow. Okay, so we found the server info.php. We find anything else? Boy, you wonder what else is available there. I think this thing was tagged as Webinum. By the way, am I crazy, or is there no way to see the tags of a Try Hack Me room once you're in it? Yeah, it says web in nope, that's C server. Security, enum, web, content discovery. Yeah, so enum is the name of the game here. What's more amazing is Brave wants to translate that page from Danish to English. It does? Which one? So it does. That's interesting. I got nothing. I'm curious, do you know why WLAN profiles for my laptop are accessible on my desktop? What? No, I don't. Unless you're signed into a Microsoft account in both places. In which case, I definitely know. All right, so export to PDF. All right, this is about Webinum, right? So let's give backup a try. I don't think they would have put that in there without a purpose. Oh, wait, yeah, right. So, what was the thing that we couldn't get? Admin.php. If we go to backup/admin.php, it would help if I spelled backup correctly. Did it the same way wrong again. Okay, no. Unfortunately. This page can only be accessed locally. Oh, wait. Well, I mean, this is plainly a server-side request forgery thing. Nevertheless, let's try to use let's try to use Kaido for this. So we're gonna send to the replay, and that didn't work. I'm missing something about how to do that right, plainly, because I think if I like right-click on the request, it'll do it. But if I right-click on the listing in the history, it doesn't. Yeah, see? Okay, now I'm going to change the host header to, what was it? 172.170.2. Will you let me in? Ah, nerds. This page can only be accessed locally. Yeah, it's not checking the host header for that, but that's always worth trying. Astro Blue asked, the page with PDF request was a post, not get. I assume edit PDF. No, I believe it was a get. But let's do it again and find out. No, you are correct. It is a post. Ah, there it is. Good eye, Astral. That's exactly what we need to do here. So we're going to do... Oh, yeah. This is... Yeah, there it is. Okay, so... basically what we're going to do here is we're going to change this up from server info to the admin.php, right? Cannot edit in read-only... What the... Oh, okay. Hold on. Send to replay, and then we'll do that. Yeah, good work, Astral. Bandolero is Kaido like Burp Sweet. Sorry, I'm just getting here. So Kaido is brand spanking new. It is still in beta. But... we're testing it out because it is pretty promising. It's written in Rust as opposed to Java, which is right now kind of the only game in town when it comes to web proxies. And I'm excited by the possibilities. Oh, I should mention, there's like a tamper, which is kind of cool. And there's also a converter. So very much like the convert tools in Zap. So rather than having to go up to CyberChef or whatever, you can stay in your tool and work here. But we're going to replay, and we're changing the server info to... Now, I'm curious. I'm going to have to URL encode this myself. I wonder if they're going to do that for me. What is it? internal/admin.php. Like, if I have to URL encode that, no problem. Nope, that worked fine. Now, unfortunately, it gives us a freaking PDF. Oh, wait, no, sorry, I'm being stupid. What we want to do is turn intercepting on. Yeah. I'm going to go back. And if I hit queuing, there we go, that's what I want. What does that do? Oh, that turns editing on. So if I now hit export to PDF, Kaido is like, oh, yeah, forward that one. And this guy, because editing is on. Here we go. Now I can change this to... There we go. That's bizarre. This should be, if editing is enabled, shouldn't that be illuminated? And yet the opposite is true. Input, or no, sorry, internal / server info.php. Forward. And we'll turn queuing off. The request URL is not found on the server. We know that it's here, so I think the issue is I'm going to have to URL encode it myself. No problem. That is a nicety that, you know, Zap and Burp will do for us, though. So, Bandolero, it's a closed beta. So you can't just, like, go install it. But you can, if you, I'll repost the invite to the Discord. Can I do that? Can I invite people? I cannot. But, let me see if I can scroll up and find, or can somebody else, oh, I found it. Repost the Discord link. This is the Kaido, thanks, Leon. That's the Kaido Discord link. So you can go set it up there. You can install it from there. Yeah, viewers of this stream got a special invite. So don't you feel special. All right, let's try this one more time. I've got queuing set up. Oh my god. So this is something that this is the thing that they need to do. They need to allow you to exclude stuff from the queue, because like Brave sync, it's the only thing that Brave does, but it's still going to get annoying fast. Okay, so here we're going to do export to PDF, and we're going to replace that with internal %2f admin.php, and we'll forward that on. And that was it. That was a medium? What's going on with Try Hack Me? That was a medium? Orbital is redeemed to play me a song. Glad I got that tea. All right. Was it a private room? No. No, Moo, it was public stuff. Right there. I was just looking for Challenge's newest. Yeah, I mean, that wasn't even tough from an enumeration standpoint. All right, music down. Okay, sometimes this happens on the stream. Let's see. I had a plan.
There we go. It's been a while since I've done a December song. We'll do one of those. I want you, thin fingers. I wanted you, thin fingernails. And when you bend backwards, I wanted to, I needed to, oh, to make me better. I love you in springtime. I lost you when summer came. And when you pulled backwards, I wanted to, I needed to, oh, to make me better. Oh, to make me better. But we're not so starry-eyed anymore, like the perfect paramour you were in your letters. Won't it all just come around to make you, let it all unbreak you to the day you met her? It'll make you better. It'll make you better. It'll make you better. I sung you your twinges, I suffered you your tattletales, and when you broke sideways, I wanted to, I needed to, oh, to make you better. Oh, to make you better. But we're not so starry-eyed anymore, like the perfect paramour you were in your letters. Won't it all just come around to make you, let it all unbreak you to the day you met her? It'll make you better. It'll make you better. It'll make you better. All I wanted was a sliver to call mine. All I wanted was a shimmer of your shine to make me bright. But we're not so starry-eyed anymore, like the perfect paramour you were in your letters. Won't it all just come around to make you, let it all unbreak you to the day you met her? It'll make you better. It'll make you better. It'll make you better. All I wanted was a sliver to call mine.
Oh, I see the webcam died. Sorry about that. Yeah, that straight up crashed. Apologies. I need to get an actual second webcam rather than keep using my phone. So I'm sorry about that. But at least the sound still worked. All right. Yeah, I don't know, Astral. Medium used to really... medium used to mean something on TryHack. I don't know. It does seem like they've gotten somewhat easier. Maybe I've just gotten better. I don't think so, though. I don't think I've gotten that much better. We're going to have to try one more. You know what I'd like to do, if I could? Is Broken Crystals somewhere? This isn't a TryHack Me thing, but Broken Crystals is a good one. Yes. I would like to do this one because this is good because it does some API stuff as well. And I think this is really where I want to put Kaido through its paces. Also, it's a modern web app, right? Yeah, it's React and everything. So let's see how well Kaido does with something like this. How well Kai does with something like this. So we'll make a... actually, hold on a second. Much to do if we're doing that for real. First of all, let's kill the TryHack Me VPN because we don't need it anymore. And we'll still keep Broken Crystals in here. Guess I've done that before. Okay, and we'll make a new project. Uh-oh. An unknown GraphQL error occurred. Source mutation failed. GraphQL. It would be very funny if there were introspection vulnerabilities inside of Kaido. Huh. So I just had an idea. What if we used Kaido to test Kaido? What if we set up the command line version on port like 8081? Or another machine? That might be fun. I don't want to put them on blast on stream like that though. That's not cool. If I do start finding vulnerabilities, I'll report them responsibly. Oh, morals. Yeah, we're in Broken Crystals, so... What you got for me? Oh my god, Brave. Go away. Alright. Why does it not like this? It says not secure. Is that because it's... But it's HTTPS, and I definitely installed the cert. So that's different. And, like, it's working fine. Wait, why am I getting Brave crap in here? Filter. I can't scope this. Oh wait, yes I can. I can scope this. Awesome. Okay, that's what I'm gonna do. It's not self-signed, Astral. I gave Brave the root CA from Kaido, so everything that goes through it should be accepted. In fact, let's take a look at that. Oh, I see how it is, Bandolero. You won't actually watch the content. You actually just want the free thing, huh? Serves you right. Yeah, there it is. Kaido is a root signer. Is that placed in the trusted root CA? Yes. This is exactly how this works. If we go look for OWASP ZAP, it's in the same spot. See? Anyway, we need to make a new scope here. I forgot to hit save. I forgot to hit save. Oh boy. Okay. Well, this is working though. At least the scoping is working correctly. Ah, okay. You love to see it. API file. Config products crystals amethyst.gp. Look at this. API/file. Now, this is going to be a good one for the fuzzer. Right, so if we send this to paths, config products. If we send this to the replay. Are you kidding me? Why is this happening? Send to replay. What am I doing wrong the first time? All right, path is config products. You think? Thank you, Broken Crystals. Thanks for being you. Now, one thing that I am hoping for soon is the ability to annotate findings, because right now I cannot. Right, so if I were doing this test, I would actually have to go and take my notes only externally. I can't use this tool to set up alerts, and I can't set up reporting or anything like that. Yeah. Broken Crystals is super fun. If you haven't played with this before, it's a blast. Open API 3.0 JSON. So, okay. I might have to go to Zap just to show you what you can do with Zap in this context. So we'll go to the API reference, but we'll also get the Open API schema, the JSON.
At the end of the day, when you're all alone in the dark, the only thing that counts is this: the law. And you will be alone.
All right, API.json is saved, and then this is the Swagger UI. which I don't feel like dealing with because it's going to take a year and a half to load. Marketplace. This is React, so I can't really even spider this on. I can't use Ferox Buster with it super easily either. This is fun though. We go to user login. It's like simple REST-based authentication, and then you can test that as well. Oh, thanks, Leon. Thanks for finding the send to replay bug and clipping it. Astro Blue asks, I'd like to get into application security. I have some knowledge about all these bugs, but not at the level of someone like me. Where should I start? Yeah. Practical Web App Security and Testing is out now, and you should get it. And I will mention that if you are on the Fediverse, and if you follow me on Mastodon, you get access to a 90% discount. I am all in, baby, on the Fediverse, and if you are interested in joining me there, you get rewarded with 90% off Practical Web App Security and Testing. So that's a $30 course for $3. And all you have to do is explore an open and decentralized social networking experience that doesn't have a toxic megalomaniac running it. Oh, you want to implement fixes too? I see. So you want to just be a web developer. Well, that's a different thing. My skill set is a hodgepodge of like a decade more or a decade plus of fumbling my way through technology. But if you're interested in learning how to do secure coding, oh yeah, I gotta point you to Tanya Janka. She Hacks Purple and the We Hack Purple community. Yeah, no, I'm pointing you in the right place. So Tanya does application security training, but she also has a book called Alice and Bob. What is it? Learn Application Security? Yeah. Alice and Bob Learn Application Security. AliceandBobLearn.com. Yes, exactly. And that was the... Exactly, and the next place I was going to tell you about was the We Hack Purple community, which is a kind of cool thing. It's a lot. I'm a member, but it's too much for me to engage with most of the time. But it is the place if you want to be involved in AppSec, for sure. Yeah, Tanya's really cool. All right. I love the CSurf based off that, like, I can do cross-site request forgery based authentication. Don't have an account. I will sign up. That's too many numbers. I wonder how many times... Like, who owns this address? I'm so curious. What does their inbox look like? Because I use this all the time. Is this a dead page? Is this not going to actually do anything? Ooh, no. Interesting. So look at that. We've got an API users. We got this LDAP profile link for some reason. Look at all these. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. What? API spawn command equals pwd, and we get var dub dub dub. Oh, well, thank you for this. Let's run the ID command. Why is that there? Why is that there? Well, we have remote code execution immediately. I love broken crystals. It's so full of stuff. And if any of you are looking for a hard mode capstone for PWST, I should mention for those of you who aren't familiar, the end of Practical Web App Security and Testing asks you, doesn't require you, asks you to perform a web app test on a free resource of your own choosing. I think Broken Crystals is probably one of the most realistic that you can do if you want to do a hard mode one. That isn't like a PHP app with SQL injection and cross-site scripting in it, which is, you know, that's like every other test for one of these. Yes, PHP is still around, but if you want to test like a modern app with API stuff, Broken Crystals is a good one to test because it has all sorts of crazy stuff going on in it, including, apparently, remote code execution. Wow. Now, again, I'm curious if this is going to work or we're going to get a 500 error. Like, will it encode this for me? It will not. So... Oh, that's better. Whoa. What? Okay, pop quiz, chat. What isn't here that I would have expected? Given that they're just letting us test this. Any takers? Ah, Sar and Leon have it. Indeed. There's no .docker env, which tells me this thing is not it's not a Docker container. I honestly don't know what would be there if it were a Podman container. All right, well, does this have outbound? Oh, I gotta get rid of that slash. Yeah, there we go. Interesting. Uh-oh. All right, well, let's pop a shell on this. So now we have an interesting scenario. I have my local VM, and this This thing is on the internet, so what are we going to do? We are going to ngrok it. Indeed. All right, and then we'll NC and VLP on quad 8. And then oh man, you know what's funny? I installed something that was supposed to make my life way easier with Tmux, and I forgot I installed it. Check this out. I installed the Tmux Yank plugin, which means that if I highlight this and press Y... Oh no, did I not install it on this machine? Dang it. Okay, never mind. Oh, that was dumb of me. Well, installing it right now. Tmux Yank will allow me to copy from the Tmux buffer into my system clipboard. And so, one more time with that. If I use the Tmux selector, right, but then I press Y, that is now copied into my clipboard. Yeah, Clay Hacks. You don't have to do the command for me. Not only do I know how to do it, but also, look. And by the way, we have no reason to... I would be shocked if Netcat is on here. So we're going to test that first. Kind of a long wait for a GET request. No, I'm happy you know it too, Clay. Is there a reason people these days seem to have collectively forgotten about bind shells? No, it's not that they have forgotten about them. It's that their failure rate is so high that it's almost never the right first choice. Because it's not about cool. It's not about cool. And, you know, for those of you who are not familiar with these terms, reverse shell, bind shell, what does this mean? Not found. I see so many people... 500 NC. Okay, so right. Okay, so here's why. A reverse shell, remember, is when you coerce your target to make an outbound connection to you, the attacker, who is listening for that connection. A bind shell is when once you have code execution on your target, it's first to some degree, you open a port, you listen on your target, and then you connect from your attack box to your target. That's a bind shell. And the reason why that isn't usually the first choice is because that requires the inbound firewall to be hyper permissive, right? which is usually the firewall that is not permissive, right? That's where the rules are set up. Whereas outbound firewall rules are crazy permissive all the time because you never know what the user's going to do and what port needs to be let out of it. That's the reason, really. Sometimes bind shells work just fine. But especially in a situation like this, where you're going up against, who knows how much web infrastructure between you and the server, the odds of you getting your outbound port, listening, your listening port to work all the way from their inside to your outside is lower. This thing's still up. I wonder if my session died, and that's why it there was an issue. The site's definitely still up. All right, let's go see if we can find a new API spawn. Yeah, here we go. Nope. Here. Actually, I want to see if I can reproduce that bug. So we'll send to replay. No. Send to replay. And that just was wrong? I got the wrong one somehow? All right, that worked. That's definitely a bug. I don't know what that's about, but I think it's very touchy about where I click. Okay, let's just confirm that we still have code execution. I think my token disappeared. I'm hoping. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so now we're going to do nc-h to see if there's a thing. It don't like that. Okay, so we're going to assume netcat isn't there. Ncat is on, I mean, if nc isn't there, ncat's not going to be there, but okay. Ncat is like a rarefied, SSL opening tool. Let's just make sure we didn't break stuff. Yeah, okay. So, instead, we'll try this bash. Yes, URL encoded. Thank you for that. Oh, thank you, hack tools. Oh no, no. Unexpected. And a file while looking for matching. Ooh, do I need to URL encode this? Almost certainly. My ngrok port is not off. Also, hi, Husky. Yeah, it is, though. That's right. Oh, no. Thank you. You are correct. You are correct. What's that supposed to be? 14887.
Miami Nights 1984.
Although that doesn't seem to be the issue that I was getting, right? Okay, we'll just change that in here. Because it says unexpected unfound looking for matching quote. Line 0, unexpected interfile while looking for matching. Yeah, something's up with the URL encoding here. Exec bash I 20. Yeah, dev TCP. Rock. You know. Is it cutting off on the first / in the URL? Oh, maybe. Yeah, you might be right about that. Let's wrap it in quotes. No, it just hated that. Well, listen. It's easier out there than that. Let's do this. Base64 encode pipe to bash. I mean, sure. I'm gonna try to get a sliver payload on it. Because I can. Or I want to try anyway. Now this is exactly like the RNC capsule now. Well, Husky, we do like the tools that we like, don't we? Splobber. Let's try that again. There we go. I will check for updates with the update command. That's fairly recent. No. Not right now. Alright, so in order to make this work, boy, this is going to be interesting. So, jobs, I'm going to kill the TCP listener and set up TCP 888. No active jobs. Oh, I can set up HTTP, which is fine. HTTP 8888. God. L port 0000 and L host. L port is quad 8 and L host 0000. Oh, because it's not BSD syntax. It's dope. Okay, so we've got an HTTP lister going on a quad 8, which is TCP, so that'll work with ngrok. Now we need to profiles, new, HTTP, and this is where we need to give it the ngrok address. Platform, or no, OS Linux, right? Architecture AMD 64, and we'll call it ngrok HTTP. Wow, I can't believe I got that right in one go. That rules. Okay. And now, we're gonna profiles generate. ngrok HTTP. Symbol obfuscation is enabled. Oh, you know what? I want to. Now, ngrok has an HTTP mode, but I think TCP will be fine. Now we're gonna. You definitely can't go the other way. What, HTTP to TCP? Yeah, no. You can't go. You can't infer up the OSI model. Slivers being its usual expedient self when compiling its payload. Hear me out. What if Sliver, but in Rust? Just food for thought. Don't you dare. Oh, no. No, no, no. I'm not doing anything like that. I have my own work cut out for me trying to refactor Offensive Notion. It's been my morning brain teaser. Influential Wax. God, I love these payload names. And there's no way to customize them either. Okay. Okay, so we'll do this kind of a funky way. We're gonna use ngrok again. But yeah, so this is going to be interesting. So first thing we're going to do is set up a Python on 8443 here. The reason we're going to do that is to just get the thing in place. So now, let's just make sure I still have code execution on this thing. Just went to join WeHack Purple on my phone, and while creating an account, ended up getting an error that reveals some database stuff. Okay. I'd like to believe there's wget on this. I'm super worried about that, but we'll see how that goes. Oh, hey! Look at that! You doofus. You forgot to have it download /mt. But we confirmed that wget is there. Crap. Connection reset by peer. This is feeling familiar. I don't know if I have the ability to go after this thing. If I can't get code execution, then I have other stuff that we need to talk about, like what Zap can do super well that this can't yet, and what I want to see in it. Yeah. Okay. So that's the problem. I can't write to this directory. Yeah. Okay, can I write to temp? Also, this is getting annoying. I need them to figure out how to auto URL encode stuff. Yeah. They got smart on me. I can't, and by the way, I remember this last time I tested Broken Crystals on their website. I remember this. Not only does that mean that I can't download my payload, but because I can't write socket files, I can't do any reverse shells at all. None of the writing is going to work. So while this is cool, you can do, you can do some fun stuff. Like you can do like ls/proc. And you can sometimes find some cool stuff there, right? You can't pipe it to, even if you pipe it directly to bash SAR, it still, because you do the dev TCP, right? It still creates a socket. It has to. That's the only way that Linux knows how to communicate over a network. So, guys, even in memory, it's writing a socket. That is how networking works in Unix. Unfortunately, I don't believe there's like an in-memory socket. It has to have an... Well, I mean, it basically had to do one thing, which is run this node application, and it was very clever about that. But look at this. So we have a bunch of PIDs here. One of them stands out, right? This is also going to be some, like, next-level testing. Watch this. I really hope this works. Okay. Can't access that one. What about 19 or 76? Actually, I should run LSAL to see what I can read. This is like browser burp. No, it's not. It's just like another option for burp. It's running its own window. Okay. So I should have been able to see. Oh, these are changing. I see. This is our process, is what's up there. So we'll try 76. Because that looks stable. And this is, again, one of those things that you would love to automate, right? Once you get all of them. Yes, yes, yes. Now that we have one of these processes, cat proc 76 command line. Even if you only have file read, you can see some cool stuff in /proc. Like where the file is and how it's running. So if there are sensitive command line arguments that are getting passed to run a thing, you can see them in /proc. That's a good Linux graybeardy web app pen tester tip for you. Yeah, you can also dump end with /environ. That's a really good one too. Hey, Oreo Bite. Good to see you. Oh, yes. Please tell me that they put secrets in environment variables. Proc self is also useful if you don't need to know the PID beforehand. Of the one that you're running, yeah. Oh, it's so much. Let's copy and paste that out. That's all I got. Oh, we do have a Control F. Boy, that looks familiar, doesn't it? It looks like Red Hat VS Code. In real life, is this what you say the impact is critical? If there's a password in here, for sure. What is up with this text copying? That sucks. I don't like that at all. Oh, database password equals BC. Okay, that's critical. That's no good. Yeah. And so we were able to get there just by looking at the proc environment for the running thing. Can you save the request data to a file somehow? I was just trying. And I don't have a... Ooh, and I can't close the Control F. I can't close that. That's no good either. All right. So we found some issues. Now, I want to kind of back up and show you the cool zappy stuff that we want this thing to get to. Okay, so I'm going to close Kaido down and bring up Zap. I tried Control F to close again. It didn't work. I guess I can shut down ngrok. So a couple of things that I want to talk about. First of all, the kind of easier working with certain parts of that. Oh, I am on 212. Okay. So I should have neon markers and stuff too. Now. Zap 212 added some toys. Already losing the startup race, though. Nerds. Zap's root CA certificate has expired. Yes, I will regenerate it. Walter White is staring at yourself. Yeah, that'll happen. Okay. Let's solve that. Brave settings and reset the cert. Where's the OWASP? Yeah, we'll delete this one. And I don't know why there were two. But we shall import. Right, so see, because it exports as a PEM, I have to go to all files and why am I not seeing it? Oh, I'm in recent. Oh, I hate that. I do that so many times with the GNOME file picker. Okay. Zap, could you start, bud? You're kind of embarrassing me in front of the chat. Let's go. Yikes. What was that about? Okay. Jeez. So let me just check a couple things here. Oh, brother. Yeah, let's install Neon Marker. That was the thing I was thinking about. And JSON view. Why not? So I get this cool new thing, Neon Marker, that allows me to color code my requests. There we go. See? There was a phantom process. Now I should be able to fire this up on 8080, no problem. So already, Kaido is like easier to work with. Yeesh. Okay. What do you mean unable to use port 8080? What is running on port 8080? Ooh, Kaido is still running. Whoa. Oh, that's not my problem, or that's not Zap's problem. Kaido is still running. Oh, that sucks. That shouldn't be happening. Kaido should have gone away when I brought it down. Don't like that. Even if you're thinking, oh, it's going to be a service running in the background, if I close the window, I expect the port to close. Okay, so at long last, bring Neon Marker up. Let's get Broken Crystals going here. I think this might be a new Zap thing. Okay. So look at all this. Let's exclude. Why actually isn't that set? Global exclude URLs. Brave stuff is gone. Google should be gone. Google Chrome extensions, Google updates, LastPass. Okay. So, I don't know. For my money, this tree is like nicer because I can see everything that got requested. Now, I don't have the nice coloring here, but this is kind of cool. If I do a neon marker red. How does that work? There is also open and requester tab. They just added this in 2.12 rather than the request editor, which I'm used to using. They actually have a tab dedicated to this now to do request and response, which is kind of cool. So if we do open a requester tab, fills that in. Handy, I would say. And by the way, if I do ls-al, it should URL encode this for me. Sure does. Now, I do still prefer the actual separate editor like this. Yeah, nice and clean. Nice and clean. Oh, right. The other thing that I wanted to talk about was the API stuff, right? Because we got that API schema. So one thing that we can do is import an open API definition from the local file system. If we go to documents and we put it in here, broken crystals, api.json, and the target URL is... Oh, it is just insecure. brokencrystals.com. Look, it filled in the rest of the API for us. And it's now scanning them. Yeah. I think that's cool. Wait, hold up. Hold up. What is this render? Is there SSTI here? Dang it. Equals 5589 equals +1. What is this? I've never seen this before. It's 5589. What on earth? Request John Doe. Gives us John Doe. So look at all this API stuff we have. We even got a critical alert, an open redirect. Ooh, tell me. Tell me about it. Yes. Well, that would be my website. So there's a good finding for you. Yeah, if we go to brokencrystals.com with this open redirect. Yep, takes me right there. Yikes. That's a good finding. So I kind of wanted to end tonight just to demonstrate like the difference between what a mature one of these things looks like and where Kaido is right now. I think there is a lot of promise for the application, but I do think that it has a long road ahead of it. Just if you think about the maturity of something like Burp or something like Zap and how much effort's gone into it, there's a lot to do. There's a lot to do. And for me, as a professional web app pen tester, like I use Zap every day. It is part of my professional tool set. And in order for something like Kaido to replace it, it has to have feature parity. And the features that I care about are things like custom alerting. So I have to be able to edit this tree. I have to be able to take notes on stuff. So for example, this open redirect, right? I need to be able to add notes to it, which I can do. That's cool. These are new, these alert tags. But I can add additional notes, right, in the other info. And then let's call this BC, broken crystals. Okay, we'll do template. Let's do the skyline, sure. We'll generate it. And I can go deliver this. Nice. With all of this detail for people. That really matters to me. The ability to report findings like this. So I'm interested in Kaido. I wish them the best. It will not be replacing Zap for me anytime soon. What is the motive behind Kaido? I don't know for sure, but if I were to guess, I would say that there was a desire to have a closer to the metal HTTP proxy for web app testing without the need for Java, which is a huge problem. You know, having to rely on Spring UI stuff and even Java at all to run both Burp and Zap is a limitation, right? And it limits the performance of these tools. And especially when you now have other parts of the toolchain like Feroxbuster, which runs so much more quickly, it would be nice if we could have something that could keep up. And so I think that's probably part of the rationale. And also there's just a thing where if you can rewrite it in Rust, there's going to be somebody who wants to. I've had the desire to rewrite an HTTP proxy in Rust. I just haven't had the time to get to it. So again, I wish Kaido all the best. I think there's a lot of promise there. But you do see where the gaps are, right? And where there's some polish that needs to get put on there just to make it a little bit more functional for the everyday. But there's also a lot of room to do some cool stuff. So, okay, friends, I think that's going to do it for tonight's stream. A little bit of a shorter stream, but we have accomplished our mission. We did 2 tri-hackney rooms, and we did a bonus Broken Crystals where we got code execution and a few other stuff. A few other things in there as well. So I think that's going to do it, but I will be back on Saturday. And I don't quite know exactly what we're going to do on Saturday, but I think it's going to be a little bit more red teamy than usual. So get excited for that. Doesn't look like there's anybody from the Hacklist who's streaming right now, but if you don't know about the Hacklist, check out all the other great InfoSec streamers that are there. We are Legion. And until then, friends, please be good to yourselves be good to each other, and happy hacking. We will see you next time.